A couple of weeks ago, Bonfire Forsaken Lands was released for the Nintendo Switch, a small two-dimensional game where survival is on the menu. In this video I discuss basic aspects of the game and how it's experienced on the Nintendo Switch. The first thing that strikes me is that the control is a little different. It's not possible to move the monk by pressing left or right. Instead, all commands are done by selecting options from the menu seen at the bottom of the screen. Whether you want to create a building, collect some wood or attack a monster, everything is done via the menu. Maybe it's a bit of an unconventional way to play, but it actually works. So, is there a story in this game? Yes, but it leaves a lot to the imagination. A monk arrives at a deserted place where he must place a bonfire. This is needed to attract people to a new village. At the beginning we are told about a god who has the power to destroy, and the aim is to ultimately gain the strength of the titans, but to do that you have to build a village and explore dungeons. Well, that's about it. It might sound like a deep and imaginative story, but the fact is you get very little information during the game. Basically, it's at the beginning and the end of the game that we get to know what's really going on. As I said, this is about building a village. After lighting the bonfire, a wanderer comes every day to offer his services. If you accept, it will help gather resources or protect you from various dangers. There are a few different jobs. Your employees can work as wood gatherers, which is needed to build new buildings and create new items. You can hire people to become a farmer who produces food. Armor and weapons are also needed, so you have to send people to work in the mine and so on. There is a lot to take into account. Each wanderer has his own specialty. Some are strong and brave, while others are hardworking or wise. It's an advantage to put the right man in the right place to get the maximum out of each worker. After a while into the game, you can send workers on missions to find dungeons. Once in dungeons, you fight monsters and explore places with the help of alchemists. The game's best feature is probably that there is a day and night cycle. During the day all workers are active. At night all the guards come out to protect against various scary monsters. If the guards are too few or poorly equipped, there is a risk of being game over, so it can be an advantage to be well prepared for the night's activities. If you happen to die, you have to start over from the last day you played. A small punishment, it doesn't take that long to get back to where you were when you died. Okay, so the question is if this is an entertaining game. I have to say, it gives a mixed impression. It was quite fun building up the village, building houses, hiring new workers and watching everything grow. But the sad thing is that after a while it's as if everything is done. There is hardly anything else to do, so you sit back and wait until you can hire enough soldiers to tackle the final part of the game. In fact, after a few hours I just sat there and waited and waited and waited. I had nothing else to do. I waited until it was daylight so I could get more soldiers. Not so fun. But the game generally works well on the Nintendo Switch. I experienced no crashes or issues with frame rates. However, I discovered a bug that was really annoying. In the dungeon, I happened to heal even though my squad had 100% health. For some reason, after that I couldn't do anything, like my control froze. Again, I just sat there and waited until I gave up. Really annoying. But for those who enjoy building villages and watching things grow, I can recommend the game to them. But unfortunately, it feels like the game ends a little too quickly. However, there is an opportunity to try hardcore mode. If you get slaughtered by the monsters and die, you become permanently game over. So the game offers some real challenges after all. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I review new games every week. Have a nice day. See ya!